That's the sound of the very talented Shamaar Allen, a New Orleans jazz musician who is using music to encourage children to swap guns for trumpets.
It's kind of unbelievable, isn't it? How could that possibly work? Well, after a 9-year-old boy in his neighbourhood was shot and killed, the musician embarked on his own gun amnesty in a bid to get weapons out of the hands of young people. And we're joined now live from New Orleans by Shamaar. It is a perfect name for a musician. Is that actually your real Shamaar? It just lends itself to being a really cool musician. A very good morning to you. Now, this story is quite hard to believe. Tell us what it was that you experienced, and I know you're a father yourself of a 9-year-old, that then made you think, I've got to do something.
So I heard about the story on the news, and I was waking up in the morning and I was half asleep, and the kid's name is Devontae, and he's a 9-year-old boy, and my son's name is Dante, who's a 9-year-old little boy, and the similarity in name and age made me feel like, man, that could easily be my son, like, just because of them, you know, being in New Orleans and it could have easily been somebody that I knew, but it felt a lot closer to me than any other situation I've heard of. So I've always done a lot of community work and helped a lot of people, helped a lot of kids get into college and get scholarships and get into the performing arts school through music. But this one, I was like, man, what could I do with the resources that I have? So I had a few trumpets laying around, and I decided to donate them. So I posted on Instagram, if you bring me, to all the youth in New Orleans, bring me a gun and I'll give you a trumpet. And kids actually started reaching out. So I decided that I would give up some of the trumpets that I had. And once people realized what I was doing, it raised a good bit of money. And I'm able to do a lot more with it now. So it's really cool.
And the first child who came to see you, I believe, was a young girl who came with a gun that was already loaded. It had bullets in this gun as well, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I wouldn't have suspected that. And for me, it's like hearing her story and her actually bringing me a gun. I'm like, you know, it's almost like I stereotyped it for being a boy. You know, but like when I talked to her and I saw her, I was like, man, it's a girl. And it really messed me up a lot more than any of the situations where I've gotten guns from
What was
boys.
her story, Shamaar? What, you know, just briefly, why did she, and how old was she? Why did she have a loaded gun?
So my whole concept of this is no questions asked, and I want the children to trust me. So in order for me to maintain that, I would like to not talk about her actual story and you know, getting too much of it, because I want more kids to be able to come to me and feel confident that I won't put their business out there like that.
Yeah, that's
it's really respectful, but I just find it fascinating. You know, you said you were shocked, you know, by that girl. What kind of, you know, backgrounds, and has it surprised you who it is that's willing and why they're willing, in a sense, to give you their gun? Because clearly they've got it for a reason. They feel afraid, or they feel that they need one because other people have got one. What is it that you're learning about gun ownership amongst children in your local area? What is it telling you?
All right, the way that I see it, and like I grew up in that environment, but I had two great parents who made sure that I went down the right path. And most kids don't have a great like two parents, let alone one parent, to make sure that they go down the right path. So for me, I took my time out I talked to her and I understood what she was going through. But I think music could actually save them, because it saved me. So the little girl situation, she really, like, I'll just say that she really wanted to play music. Like she was really interested in learning music, and she felt like giving that up was more important to her than having it, so that she can learn how to play the trumpet, because that's what she wanted to do. Yeah. Like I said, I won't get into too many details about it, because I want to keep that trust between the youth of New Orleans and myself, so that I can actually continue to get those guns. So I won't go into too much details about it.
But Shamaar, what's actually brilliant about this is that there's actually research been done, hasn't there, that kids who learn to play a musical instrument from a very young age, from an early age, it makes them to a different type of person, actually. It makes them far more rounded and open-minded and creative and sort of at peace with themselves. It's a brilliant thing. But what is the moment? What do you sort of catch? Why is that moment where they go, well, actually, yes, I am literally going to do this exchange. I'm going to swap this gun and take away a trumpet from Shamaar? Is it because nobody has ever offered them an alternative?
I think again, it comes from the environment that they grow up in. Like, the environment is no opportunities. There's nothing for them to do. These aren't bad kids. They just are in a bad environment. They don't have much opportunity. So if you go outside and you see everybody selling drugs and hustling and just hanging out doing, bad things, then you'll eventually get caught up in it because you're a product of your environment. Michael Jordan or LeBron James or whoever, Kanye West or Drake, they're not coming to hang in that neighborhood with them. So they don't really have much to look up to. So
and
for them to see...
You also offer, I suppose, lessons, don't you? So it's giving them somewhere safe to go, a new community, a new tribe, if you like, of people who are more in tune, if you like, with who they are, rather than the gun that they're using as a sort of front. How many guns have you actually taken in then since you've started this?
I've taken in, I wasn't really finished saying what I was saying, but I've taken in 7 guns so far from kids.
And that is 7 children who are now...
It's amazing. It's incredible.
...feeling like their life has changed.
I just want to clarify one point, because I think people at home will be wanting to know. You do work with the authorities as well, don't you? So when you get possession of this gun, it gets passed on to the relevant authorities. It doesn't sort of, hang around anywhere somewhere. You are working very closely with the authorities.
I don't know what's going on with those. I don't want to have them close to me that long, But I'm working with the city government and the New Orleans Police Department. And when I get them, I call the Armory Department, and they meet me wherever I am, and they take them from me. There's no questions asked by them of me, and there's no questions asked of the children by me. So it's like complete, separation between the kids and the officers.
It's a real amnesty. I mean, you've got a great soul, and you have soul, of course, in your musical genes. And we can see a trumpet just to the side of you. Can you play us something just before we say goodbye to you? And congratulations, by the way, on what you've achieved there, and long may it continue. That's absolutely fantastic.
Fabulous. I want to come to New Orleans. I want a trumpet. It's great.
Hang out, man.
Yeah, well, congratulations. What a great story, and what an unusual scheme to come up with. And you seem clearly have tapped into something that these kids really need more than they need the gun.
They just don't have anything. They just don't have anything to do. That's it. They're not bad kids. They need people like us that's doing things, positive things to show them, hey, this is something that you could possibly do. I come from your environment. I didn't have much growing up. Look, this is what I'm doing. This is how it worked. I have a nice house. I have a nice car. People love me. Same thing you could have.
Congratulations. What a great story. Thank you for joining us live from New Orleans this morning.
Thank you so much.